Good morning, Your Majesty the King.
Good morning, Mr. Prime Minister. As you know, we are in the last decade of the 18th century, and I have heard little about a new double-entry system in modern accounting. I want you to bring some expert to give enough details about the new system.
Your Majesty, I am the expert and I can proceed for the required details.
Please go ahead.
Your Majesty, as you are certainly know, financial statements disclose 1. Transactions, which include revenues and expenses, and 2. Account balances, which include assets, liabilities, and shareholders' equity.
You are right. Please continue.
The double-entry system has its own golden rule. It categorizes transactions and account balances into 2 categories depending on their nature.
What these 2 categories are?
Category 1 includes assets and expenses. These are debited when they are increased, and credited when they are decreased.
Could you please explain the double entries in both cases of their increase and decrease?
When an asset is acquired or expenses are increased, the double entry will be debit assets/expenses and credit cash or accounts payable or accrued expenses. Adversely, when an asset is disposed of or expenses are decreased, the double entry will be debit cash/ or accounts payable/ or accrued expenses and credit assets/expenses.
What is about Category 2?
Category 2 liabilities, shareholders' equity, and revenues are credited when they are increased, and debited when they are decreased.
Could you please explain the double entries in both cases of their increase and decrease?
When liabilities are assumed, shareholders' equity is increased by injecting more paid-in capital, or revenues are increased. The double entry will be debit inventory/or cash/or accounts receivable, and credit accounts payable/or paid-in capital/or revenues. Adversely, when liabilities are paid, shareholders' equity is decreased by reduction in paid-in capital, or revenues are decreased. The double entry will be debit accounts payable/or paid-in capital/or revenues, and credit cash/or accumulated losses/or accounts receivable. I hope that was enough, Your Majesty.
Yes, it is. Thank you.